of these beautiful women.
I love this t-shirt. You have probably seen some videos, some clips from Love Island season 7. I feel like Love Island USA season 7 just exploded out of nowhere. If you have not seen Love Island, this might be the season that you get into Love Island, you know? If you have engaged with some of those clips, the algorithm gods most probably have shown you some clips of this one person that we're gonna talk about today, Vanna. But today we're not going to jump on the hate train because there is a tremendous amount of hate surrounding Vanna right now. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to have a chill, genuine conversation. We're going to have an intimate deep dive where we talk about things. For example, what is scarier? Having done cosmetic procedure or that procedure going out of style in 3 years? I need you to get comfortable, get some tea, because we're going down a rabbit hole. I feel like to really understand why the netizens are so captivated by Vanna, we have to first talk about Love Island, right? When I think of Love Island, I just think that it's the complete opposite of Love is Blind. I used to be very into Love is Blind. The only thing they both have in common, I believe, is that it doesn't work. On Love is Blind is basically an experiment to test whether love can be blind. This experiment lasts 4 weeks. I believe it prioritizes emotional connection over everything else. Like, you have to have something to propose to a wall. People go on this show, according to what I've seen on the show, after they have exhausted all the other options to find love in real life. So meeting via friends, going out with acquaintances and stuff like that, rubbing shoulders in the club, and then I'm like, could you be my true love? No. Dating apps, blind dates, no result from any of that. Then they go on Love is Blind. So in a way, like last resort. If people go on Love is Blind for that, what do people go to Love Island for? True love? Lust? Because this show is basically a revolving door for hot people. In and out, they come in and they go out. This is an experiment to test connection, and this experiment allows external party, so the viewers, to determine the result. You can vote for your favorite couple. Can love be determined like that? I don't know. I believe Love Island really hones in on one question, which is, can pure physical attraction leads to real connection? What do you think? I think nope. Not really. 1 out of 10, 1 out of 20, 1 out of 100, I don't know. But Kale and Tyra, cute. On Love Island, there is so much kissing. Like, they are kissing all the time. Like, any challenges, kiss, right? And they're doing things that you don't want your parents to see, right? They're also constantly in swimsuits. And are they constantly swimming? Nope. I get bloated by just eating air. I don't know how they do it. Anyway, this is the world that Vanna was thrown into. She was not part of the OG cast. She was a bombshell. Bombshells are introduced throughout the 2 months that they're there. Bombshells are there to either test existing connections or for other people to explore new connections with them. The intention is always to test loyalty and true love with pure physical temptation. Vanna was a bombshell for only 3 episodes. Within that 3 episodes, she got so much coverage. The hate was so bad that her own mother had to tell her not to check her phone until she's home with her.
My first phone call I made before touching social media was to my mom, and she had said to me, maybe don't go online until you're home with me. I was like, wait, what? Why don't go online? So what do I do naturally? I go online. It was really hard when I was seeing all of it, and I was in the hotel room with Coco, and Coco was getting like a lot of love, but I was getting so much hate. I didn't want to pull her experience down, you know, so I was trying to like say hi.
So what exactly happened? Well, the netizen talked about 2 things mainly: her face looking like filled face, and the fact that she looked way older than her actual age. For the record, she is 21. I think she just turned 22. And let's be honest, I feel like lip fillers are pretty common these days. Not to say that it's okay to get it at a young age and without knowing the side effects of it. As someone who is not an expert at this, even I can tell when someone had lip fillers. And I'm not going to lie to you, That plump lips just make that lipstick pop, you know? I can overline my lips all I want. I'm never gonna get that from the side. You know what I mean? So with this going around, Vanna actually addressed it. She said she had lip fillers and breast augmentation, but she insisted that her chin and cheeks are natural. She said she looked the way that she looked on the show because of feather pillows. She's allergic to feather pillows. The moment that she dropped that bomb, everyone on the interwebs was like, channel Sherlock Holmes, because basically everyone was like, you saying allergy can give chin implants? People started digging. They were exterminator. What? Extraction. I don't know. People started digging really deep. Like there were yearbook photos of her, there were her old TikToks, like old pictures, everything that would debunk what she just said. And honestly, I do get the whole debunking thing, because some people in spotlight sometimes are not always honest, right? And remember when someone told us that her lips got bigger because she overlined her lips, and somehow because of that her lip kits all so out, girl. Well, at least Kylie came clean years after. But I think just debunking things came from people wanting people to be honest and be more transparent. They're the ones that we're seeing on social media. Social media plays a huge role in our lives. I believe right now we average around 2.5 hours on social media. Social media also plays a huge part in how people perceive beauty. However, whether you're honest or not, I feel like some people just got, hey, you know, like even if you're honest, people can be very brutal. Can't always blame them, but you tell me. So that's the whole shebang about Vanna's appearance. Then there's this theory floating around online saying that Vanna was casted as a marketing prop.
As someone who's studying public relations, Love Island producers knew exactly what they were doing casting this girl.
Okay, they always say no press is bad press. In a world where attention can translate into money, controversy. You want controversy. Controversy is king. This theory suggests that, you know, the producer took one look at Vanna and be like, well, this girl's gonna keep people talking. She's going to keep people searching Love Island, which is exactly what we're doing right now. I feel like Vanna on Instagram really fits into that Love Island look. Like, go to her Instagram. She completely fit the Instagram hot people, beautiful, Snapchat. I want your Snapchat look. You know what I mean? Do people still use Snapchat? I don't know. But producers must know what looks perfect on Instagram might not always survive the villa. You know, on Instagram, you control everything. In the villa, you do not control everything. There's cameras everywhere in all angles. The lighting in some parts of the villa is horrendous. And the sun is not always golden hours. And you know what they say? Oh my god, my side is actually my left side or right side. Girl, you think you can walk around the villa like this? Yeah? You wanted to pull me for a chat? No. If this theory is true, that is not very nice. That's the online controversy. But besides all of that, I feel like there's some things that people are not talking about enough that is, you know, causing her to look a little bit more mature on camera. I think it has a lot to do with makeup, setting, lighting, and the heat, right? To look naturally good on camera, you likely will have to put on more than natural looking makeup off camera. Love Island, I think, is filmed in Fiji. Girl, 1 minute you are indoor with the good lighting, with a little bit of the sun coming in, just enough to, like, you know, keep things going on the camera. Next minute, someone go, can I pull you for a chat? And then you're outdoor, out in the hot sun because you guys wanted to be alone. Go. Nah. Combine that with like sweating, and then you cry a little bit, you start tearing up, and then your makeup is just like starts caking, and the camera catches you in a bad lighting and a bad angle. Girl, even just Vanna doing this looks like she is much more mature than she actually is. Let's circle back to the bigger thing at play here. Where there is smoke, there is fire. Vanna is the smoke and there's a fire going. She's 22, so I guess it's very safe to assume that she grew up with social media. She's from the generation that generally has had to potentially craft an online presence since they were a kid. Maybe the pressure is there. I'm just saying, I remember when Instagram was not about that. It was just about food pics and stuff like that. Now Instagram is a place where you can curate a facade or a online presence. Depending on how good that is, how much attention it gets, you can earn quite a good living off that. There are also more and more apps and tools within apps, professions made just to help people to craft the perfect image for themselves, y'all. You know, I feel like TikTok be doing the most. Like every single year, TikTok just has some new things. From the start, I feel like TikTok camera automatically just slims my face. It sees me and be like, okay, face too fat, so slim. That is personal. That's why I'm not on TikTok. And that's how this invisible chase for perfection begins, I feel. Maybe it starts with a pose, maybe it starts with a trend, a dancing move or whatever. But it starts to morph into, I need to look a certain way to be seen as attractive. I always see these girls that with these features on my feed and they get all the likes, compliments and follows. So the goal, I feel like on social media, is always to look effortless, like you just got that photo in the first try. But deep down, everybody knows that that is not true before uploading that one photo. Or maybe you're just that friend, like snap and then upload. I feel like a lot of us like take a lot of photos and then post that one that made it, if we are lucky. If you combine this with a lack of transparency, it's just an impossible standard that sets young girls up for failure. And I think this pressure is very real. I don't know exactly when Vanna had those procedures done. Some people say 16, some people say 17. From her Instagram, it looks like she had her girls done at 19. Now, in Asia, it's an ugly truth that some parents will give their kids money as graduation gifts for cosmetic or plastic procedures, okay? It says something. There are jobs where you have to look a certain way to get it. I have been told by someone that if I don't look nice, I will not be able to work anywhere for anyone. And unfortunately, that person is someone I'm very close to. So it's a thing. I'm not saying that getting things done to your face or body at a very young age should be normalized. It should not. Most definitely not be normalized. But there's a bigger thing at play here. Beauty trends, they change. Our bodies, they age. How do we keep up, you know? Remember when BBL were a thing? No, it's not. It was the baddie era. I think from the looks of it. Am I still stuck there? Now it's soft girl era. Wait, is it over already? I don't condemn like having procedures done, because girl, when I'm older, I might just get procedures done. I want to feel confident. I want to feel good about myself. But I think the rule is to always not follow a trend. I don't speak English today. Trend, although they are very tempting at the time. At 16 or around that age, I forgot, I wanted to get lip fillers because I was on social media a lot. I remember looking at someone's lips and I was like, oh, maybe I can just try to overline my lips. So I went to the bathroom, I took my, I think, eyeliner and I started like overlining my lips. The thing is, I didn't know how to draw my lips, so I looked like a clown. And then I looked to the side and I was like, wait, hold on, like it's not giving. Like what this was giving, it's not giving. It did not work because, like I said, lip filler has a look to it and it was all over internet. I wanted that look. You know, I didn't get them because I knew that my mom would have told me to leave my lips at the door before coming in, and I could not afford to be homeless. I could not even afford the procedure, nor was I able to get it. I am also scared of pain. Wow, I have so many problems. This chase to keep up with the trends and the beauty standards and all of that fuels a massive economy that profits off our insecurities. The people that we see online sometimes are sponsored by companies in that specific industries, and they sort of sell a dream that seems to last forever with no side effects. But we all know that is not true. They sell the same dream to everyone, and somehow beauty seems to be streamlined these days. Beauty equals to having certain features, you know, button nose, gel eyebrows, full lips. If you don't have those features, you're sort of not that in that. Besides the chase, the trends, and all of that, I feel like we are always fighting ourselves. Or I'm fighting myself. I hope you're not fighting yourself. Maybe I should just say that I'm fighting myself. The thing is, even if the internet is not picking at us, we are picking at ourselves. Everything is so magnified. If you look at a photo of yourself long enough, my friend, you will turn into Voldemort. If you look at that photo long enough, you suddenly develop a personal vendetta against Harry Potter. How did that happen? I thought I like Harry Potter. So when Vanna says she's confident, I do believe her. You should feel confident about yourself when you look the way you want to look, right? That makes you feel good. But do you have to buy confidence now? Does that always equals to some sort of procedures? I don't want you guys to think that I'm trying to be lukewarm about this topic, because I'm not trying to be lukewarm about it. I truly believe that Vanna is not the main issue here. There's so much negativity surrounding her, and I think it's more important now than ever to be mindful of what we say to people online. You know, we can talk about something, but let's get somewhere, or else it's very much pointless. We have also all seen how negativity online can do to a person, and yeah, I'm just putting it out there. Truly, you know what makes a person very ugly? Their attitude. Like, I'm sorry, like maybe it's because I'm a Leo, but I'm totally blinded by your attitude right now. The hottest people alive with bad breath and bad, horrendous, disgusting attitude towards weight stuff, girl, I ain't got time for you. Bye. You are ugly inside out. Actually, really wanted to wear this necklace. I really like this necklace. But I think this is giving like witch, and I'm scared that you guys are going to think that I am too freaky. Because it's giving, you know. But anyway, if you are here like right now, I just want to say thank you, because you have stayed way longer than a lot of people, and I just want you to know that I really appreciate you being here and you spending your time here with me. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this sort of deep dive, like intimate deep dive I call it, where we talk about our opinions and our experience, let me know down in the comments below. I need you to show some love. The internet could use some of that. I could use some of that. And I'll catch you down in the comments below.